I'm here. I was here the whole time. Hey, everybody. It's DDG Live. Hold on, I have to turn myself off. Stop it. There we go. What's up? What's good in the hood? Hi, Alan. I had to make my... I can't talk. Tanner's here. Everybody say hi to the belle of the ball. Had to mix myself a beverage and grab a flannel because it's kind of cold up here for some reason. I even closed the windows. I don't know what that's about. Nice. Gopher Garage says my wife and my 30th this week. Nice. Happy anniversary. Fear cannot be present when the Dougster is in attendance. I should bring Bud the Spud up here. Oh, my mom just got home from Hot Dog Henry's birthday. Me too, but 20 minutes earlier. Mostly Mopar in the house, who says, good evening, y'all. A-body big block headers cost way too much. Yes, they do. Everyone say thank you to Alan for vacuuming out the 57 Dodge. Gary Kuhn, do you watch Cold War Motors? Did you see his Fury? I've seen a lot of his stuff. I don't necessarily watch his videos all the time. I don't watch many YouTubers' videos all the time. There are some that I keep tabs on, but yeah, I'm familiar with his work. People have been comparing us since I started my channel, basically, which is interesting. I do owe Alan a steak dinner. I don't know if Alan eats steak dinners. Mark Bass, did you make that video today or last Sunday? We finished that video Friday at 7 p.m. or just before. Something like that. Blind Ball and Trunnion. Nice. Alan sure can rock a vacuum. That car was horrible. The entire floor was mouse poop. There's bad and then there's that. Plymouth on Plywood in the house. Saw that guy the other day as he was passing through town. Something about trying to hang out at the beach and relax and then having to go to work. But he hooked it up with some spare A-body 8 3/4 axles. They even have green bearings on them. Thank you, Plymouth on Plywood. And Alan got his wheels. Crashes Roadrunner Garage in the house. John Skidmore, who is a member. Oh, yeah. Mark was early-ish. He likes my new purchase. Kevin Brunk saw Perky lurking in the video. Yeah, Perky's lurking in all the videos now. There he is, the belle of the ball. I think it's Belle. Cool. Selling the Z car tomorrow. Yes, classic dude Mike. Will you name the new car Stinky? Yes, someone else said that in a comment, and I think it's only right. Donnie's here. You don't need physics when you have family. Does steak cure hantavirus? Asking for a friend. Yeah, send the vacuum cleaner out for hazmat disposal. We might have to. Hot Shoe likes the big block 57 idea. I think it's the right way to go. Bill Russell, the garage of dead Dodges. This is it. Paul Wortman is here. Jeff R is here. From SA. Daylight savings has started. Messed up the time zone thing. Hasn't started here yet. At least I don't think so. Excuse me. Pungent. I mean, it's an appropriate name, but it doesn't match with Pinky and Perky. Stephen Brown is here. Not that late. I was 5 minutes late myself. What's up? Normal stuff. Just left a kid's birthday party. Yes, I can type. Yes. I could have been a typist in a formal life, but that's former life. But that's not a thing anymore. Wow. Tanner says there's a 60 Plymouth with a 225 for sale, $1,800 near me. Sounded pretty good. McLovin just had a $3,000 offer on his wagon. I put up the 280Z for $2,000. Those cars are kind of valuable, even rusty ones. That one runs. It's a 5-speed. It needs work. Obviously, it comes with a whole interior and a bunch of spare parts, and it's got decent wheels. The body is, rough. Looks okay, but it's rough. So I put it up for $2,000. I've had a $700 offer, an $800 offer, an offer of a trade for a blown-up RX-8. And that's about it. Some other dumb comments. And then this guy who's like, yeah, can I come get it today? And I was like, no, I have to go to a child's birthday party. But he's coming tomorrow. So there you go. Yes, thank Alan for all the things he does. Yeah, I missed out on cookies. That sure is a lot of children. Yeah. Pinky, perky, and pointy. Well, it is kind of pointy. Mark Bass, are the Magnum V8s with fuel injection any good for doing Resta mods? Yes, I used to say, McLovin, the trade fall through on the Volkswagen. I'm trading him something else for the Volkswagen. Magnum V8s are great. They're really simple, easy to wire, easy to get running. They go right where an LA was. They hook up to an LA transmission with a couple little changes to keep the EFI working. Yeah, I think they're great for that. I've made videos about it. I've done a couple myself. Hot dog is 8. Rubber Fitch. So you now own 5 forward-look Exner cars if you count the 63 Valiant. Do I? Pinky, perky, stinky. 63 Valiant. What am I forgetting? I don't know. GH is here and says, hi, Jamie. Don't know if you remember, but I said me and my boyfriend would be driving his 82 Ram Charger with a 360 from New Jersey to Florida. We did make it. The header gasket blew in South Carolina, but no issues the whole way. Nice. I do not remember, but congratulations. Vivian is asking, next year's No Name Nationals flying banana? Okay, here's my genius plan, and it is a pipe dream, I would like to have the banana together with the Hemi, and I would like the Barracuda with a functional transmission and clutch, and I would like to either take the ramp truck with one on the bed and the other on the trailer behind it. This would require the transmission 5-speed done, airbags done, springs done, brakes improved, and some other things, because that's a lot of weight. Maybe injectors and a big turbo. Or I could put them on a double car hauler, which I could probably convince Tom to loan me. But, excuse me, but I'd like to take both. I'd like to make exhibition runs with the banana and then actually race the Barracuda. Kathy Wallace, 318 ticked a little on startup. Dirty lifter? What's the cure? They're just like that. A lot of them are. My 360 in the Demon always ticks on startup, but it goes right away. If it goes right away, I wouldn't worry about it. Gary Kuhn said, Hemi in the new old Dodge? Be pretty cool if you did. I think I've got to do the big block because I have all the stuff, but I sure would like to do the early Hemi. Yeah, I thought he might have been counting your Exner product. Second. Sorry, I peeked. Apologies. Second 57 Dodge, parts cars number 5. That doesn't count. I told Tom I didn't even want that. He just made me take it. Dougster loves the color scheme on the 57. Isn't that thing cool? Kim is here. How's it going, Kim? Torquey, smoky, and rusty. That's the 55 is all of those things. Bolt Thrower, Jamie, will you be getting any more large hoodies for sale on your website? Dude, just in time for fall, they have out of stocked the hoodies we've always used. They're nice, high-quality hoodies, and they no longer exist. So I have to find another line of hoodies, test them to make sure they're worth using, and then re-release that line. So if there are any left on the site at all, it's only because they have like residual stock in those sizes. Yeah, giant pain in the butt. But I'll figure that out. Ben's Machines likes my new purchase. Me too. I wasn't going to count the Barracuda. I mean, technically, yes, the Valiant was a Exner design. The Barracuda was the fastback was like thrown on there after the fact. Yes, it's still the same lines, but they had also changed the nose by then and tweaked the taillights. No, I guess not. Anyway, the point is, there's a lot of Exner in it, but I don't really consider it an Exner car anymore, whereas the 63A bodies for sure are. They're still basically the way he drew them. Stage Zero Jason is in the house. How's it going? Late night at the shop doing more stupid stuff on the wife's Mini Cooper. Hate this car. Oh, God. David's wife had one of those for a while. It's gone now. At least all my Mopar stuff is done for the season. Nice. Apologies if I'm messing with my eye. I think there's something in there, or I have like a swollen thing. This eye did that like 6 years ago. Oh, I hit the button. That's funny. Remember last week when I accidentally unplugged this thing several times? I apologize if I'm blowing everyone's speakers. I'm kind of loud. Hippie Long is here and says, Jamie, is it possible to change my 64 Dart 273 rear main seal in the car? Yes, it is. If it's the original rope seal, it's going to be annoying, though, because they stick in there really well. You got to get in there with like a little screwdriver and a pick and kind of like destroy the ends and work it loose of the block to the point that it'll finally spin through. I did that on Allen's 318, but it was a giant pain, and it wasn't in the truck. It was on a stand. Dougster wants to know if the Flying Banana will have the theme song of Peanut Butter Jelly Time. That's hilarious. Dust Devil. So there is a chance of Knuckle Duster Garbage Can Cuda call out next year. Yes, I'm hoping to have it there, but I want to also have the banana. Yeah, that would be a sight on the highway. I tend to cause a, what's the word? Hold on, it'll come to me. Not a scene works, but I'll just drink. The flavor of the evening is margarita, because I was out of cider. The Real RD says, what's the good word, Jamie? Margarita. Might have been a little heavy on the lime. Pretty good, though. This is not the... We're out of Cuervo. It's something else. Mark Bass, do you know anywhere to get front fenders for a 55 Plymouth? I don't, and they tend to be rusty, as you probably know. Jeff R. will come up with a different name, but I imagine that car will always be a little stinky. Dietrich says, watching you smashing gears was epic. Great job. Thank you. I had a damn fine time with that. I noticed something, because I'm bang shifting, and the seat is moving slightly, and the car is pulling the wheels in second gear when I hit it just right. And so there are a bunch of times where I bang second, and then when I pop the clutch out, the car picks up again and I'm forced back in the seat. And I think that's why people think I'm like really ham-fisting it, right? But I don't know. I watched some of it. I like repeatedly watched some of it when I was editing yesterday's video, which no one watched, by the way. Absolutely terrible performance for a video of mine. But anyway, I would pull the shifter in second and then let the clutch up. And when I let the clutch up, that's when the car would pull again and I would be thrown back in the seat. And it's hilarious. That seat's not firmly attached anymore. Avon's here. How's it going, Avon? Yay, Flying Banana. Yes, that is my genius plan. Lowell, 1976. 1973 Charger rag joint replacement. Upgrades, tips, or tricks? Not really. If there's an upgrade, I'm not aware of it. We put a replacement in Tracy's car, but it's just a stock one, and we were missing the little safety tie bar pieces, so I ended up like making a tie wire backup thing in case it ever tears. And then because we put stupid headers in that car, I had to bash the header to get it to not hit, and then I wrapped the header and the rag joint in high temp header wrap. Hopefully that does something. Gary Kuhn became a member. Thank you, Gary. Welcome to the club. I believe we still have... I don't know. I'm going to check. For science. Excuse me. Yeah, today's video is number 1 of the last 10 by a lot. That's because 11 videos ago was the last Perky video. I think it's doing about the same as that one did. It's got 18,000 views already. And that's pretty good for me. Memberships. Total members, 247. We have 29 golds. Oh, wait, sorry. That's not today. This is today. 30 golds, 59 fancies, and 160 base members. Thanks, everybody. I promise to use your money to foolishly buy more project cars. Like 57 Dodge Cornettes. I still can't think of the word I was trying to think of. Thanks, Abe. Yes, I did win some awards. McLovin put up a link to the merch shop. If you have not gotten merch, I recommend it. Although we probably don't have your hoodies anymore. Yes. Always on the rocks. I don't have fancy salt for the rim. Oh, well. Yes, Tom has a new website, rocketresto.spectacle. Thank you. That is the word. Ruckus is a good one, too. But, yeah. Anyway, Tom's new website is rocketresto.com. McLovin did put up a link to that. Mark M., didn't Joe have a new style rear seal that was pretty successful to swap out? Yeah, that was the fancy one-piece one. But that was for a big block. And the reason he was using that was because of a recurring leak issue. Mike Holst, you're going to be able to make a trip to an undisclosed location in Arizona this month? No, I have decided not to go to duct tape. I wanted to, but first off, it's another $800 in fuel to get there. And after what I just did, that's a lot. And then I would be missing 2 family things. And it's just not worth it. You know, I wanted to go. I had a ticket lined up that Vanessa was going to give me. Like, that would have been awesome. Yeah, it's a finger in my eye. Yeah. It would have been really cool, but the transmission's screwed right now. In reviewing footage, I didn't realize this when I was driving it because I was like in the zone. Every time I shifted gears and the nose lifted, that car was pulling right. It did it the first run on the Friday, like to a dangerous degree. John Wilburn's here. Hi, John Wilburn. Dude, I meant to go buy your wrap-up live stream 2 Fridays ago, and I missed it. I don't even know what I was doing, but I didn't get to watch it till after the fact. But glad you could join us. Anyway, so you can't see this from most of the shots I used from the side. Like the shots in the first video, you don't notice it at all. But there was a guy filming from the starting line, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the channel, but the video is 65 straight minutes of No Name Nationals 2025 or something like that. And I saw him filming there. He was filming all the burnouts and then filming all the runs, and it's awesome. But because of his position, you can see my car just goes front end needs some work. And then, yeah, the whole disintegrating transmission shift fork thing. Yeah, it's it needs some love right now. And so I don't want to rush and go race again in 2 weeks. Also, duct tape is quarter mile, and I've never done quarter mile, and I didn't really want to do quarter mile. I made it worse. I thought I was fixing it, but I made it worse. Yeah, don't buy Mini Coopers. That's the lesson. Dwayne Paget says the trackside footage of you banging gears through the driver's door window, very nostalgic. Hell yeah, that was the idea. The whole car is nostalgic. Oh, yeah, I think I've seen that car, AMC guy. Exner's initial plans for the 62 plus Plymouth before downsizing. I've seen clay models for sure of the pre-downsizing prototypes. Included a full-size Plymouth two-door with a large back window. Some people think this plan became the basis for the Barracuda. Interesting. Tanner says he's been told he's loud. Right there with you, buddy. I'm well known. God, it's been 18 years. Yeah, 18 years since my wife's friend said of me, I really like him, but can you turn him down? Yeah, spectacle. I tend to create a spectacle on the road. Yes, Tanner had the crazier looking rig this time around because I was driving a normal people truck. And it was so funny that I was in a line of 4 identical trucks. Just amazing. There's a 444 speed 62, well, Lancer if it's an A body, Dart's B body, on Craigslist in Fresno, California. Mama M3 is in the house. That's Mopars, Mustangs, and minivans. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, no, Jeff, I didn't have any of the fancy salt. I guess I could have put pink Himalayan salt on there, but it just ain't right. I know all you guys watched yesterday's video. The problem, and I appreciate that, like, definitely, but the problem is, yeah, so that video now has 15,500 views, and that's great. Like, I would be so excited about that a year and a half ago. But here's that compared to, whoops, don't hold it up to the light. Here's that compared to the Perky video. Less than half of the last Perky video, 10,000 views less than the best of the Barracuda build series, 10,000 views less than the second Cordoba video on Bell James's car last week. Like, that's just bad. It's so bad. So I'm really glad today's video did well because I kind of thought I broke my channel for a minute there. Anyway, and truly, like, I think it's not my typical video, and so that's probably part of it. Oh, focus. Camera's out of focus. Might come back. Might never come back. The Les Paul is fuzzy now. Someone said nice Les Paul. Thank you. I actually bought a replacement for that guitar this last week. I'm probably going to get rid of the black one. Although it's a perfectly fine guitar. I don't need 3. What was I saying? The thumbnail looks different than my normal thumbnail, which I kind of thought might work really well, but it didn't. Just everything about it, and it's a second, it's a part 2 of last week's episode. Part 2s never do as well. It's just, I think it is one of my best videos of all time, and the general viewing public do not agree. Yes, LP94, Lars, LP94 did that video I was talking about. Paul Wortman, wasn't the front end collapsing? No, the front end's fine. Tanner, it only cost Tanner about $220 to go to No Name and back. Well, lucky you. Still not sure you know how to do math because you told us what kind of economy that Chevy was getting towing, and it just sounded wrong. Big Mike's Hoopty Barn is in the house. How's it going, Big Mike? Yeah, I'm looking for my lost shaker of salt. Anyway, Big Mike's Hoopty Barn is here. It says, Jamie, I watched your video on the 57 today while unloading my new Hoopty. I was laughing because of the smell in my own project. Dude. Oh, Paul Shea had to go. See you, Paul Shea. Thanks for dropping in. Yeah. The cornet smelled bad when I got it. But after it rained and we learned that the back window leaks like terribly bad or something, oh my God. Dude, seriously, like, so bad. I don't think I said hi to some of the early arrivals. Dan Orcutt, Rubba Bubba Bobbert, Dan Orcutt again, Stephen Andrews, Martin Adams, Conrad Cavasu, some names we see every week. Robert Fitch, Hot Shoe, Rich Jordan. I'm sure I said hi to Gopher Garage. Tiffany is here. Mama McP. DDG, now 100% more super cool and neat. Agreed. Someone remind Chris not to eat dinner while watching Jamie clean out a car he got from Tom. Dan Tupper's here. Patrick Sullivan. Alan, of course. We said thank you to Alan for his service. Mark Sauvé is here. David Bisnet. Great videos. You've been busy? Oh, dude. I was working on 4 or 5 videos this last week. Just crazy. Dust Devil Garage is in the house. I already read one of his comments. Mad Mike 8. So many people. Yep. Better late than never. The Real RD, who is top fan number 1 in this live stream. That means something, I think. Yes, Alan likes the breakwater seafoods better than the steak. There are a lot of peeps here, Jared Ellis. Hello, Chase Pelly. How's it going? Dr. Art's in the house. Need a list of cars for sale, or I'll trade you a 65 Barracuda. I thought about asking you about that Barracuda, but I actually have one. I'm selling a 280ZX, but I think it's probably going to be sold tomorrow. I don't actively want to sell Pinky the 55 Imperial, but I would if someone really wanted it. I have a pretty sweet Slant 6 automatic Scamp with some nice handling parts on it. I would sell. I haven't, but I would. It's running and driving car. You could drive it home. What else do I have that I would sell? Not many. My Charger is still potentially on the chopping block. Although I've recently learned it really needs a front end overhaul and an alignment. That would be very expensive. I don't know what else I got. I got to think about that. 170 people in the stream. It should be 170 likes. Yeah, hit like on the thing because it does stuff. Yes, right, 100%. The second no-name video was odd compared to my normal due to how it's constructed. Yes, and especially because it's a part 2. Like, yeah. Definitely fun for me having been there to watch. I have never done this ever before, but I'm strongly considering repackaging both of those videos and re-releasing it at some point. And it probably won't do well at all, but I just feel like that video and that adventure, that insane time deserves more than the algorithm gave it. And also, I really regret chopping it up into 2 halves at this point. So, because they neither ended up long enough, and yeah. So at some point, I think I may do that. Excuse me again. Anyway, the Real RD, commenter number 1, said, what are your ideas beyond the engine for the Coronet? So it already has a a newer 8 3/4 axle, which is good. It's got the newer style brakes in the back, which is great. Yeah, so probably 383 big block, probably, as long as that engine's worth using. The push button automatic, which I already have. Disc brake conversion for the front. I'd like to have a sway bar on it, if I could find one of those. I think I could adapt a C-body one, or really there are all kinds of other ways to adapt a sway bar if that is what one wants. Yeah, I just want to make it a decent daily driver quality car. It's cool, the interior's all there, if we can get the smell out, and I think we can. Fresh carpet. Yeah, I just want to put it on the road as like a decent driver. That is my plan. But I do, again, we're going to probably upgrade to disc brakes, power disc brakes with a modern style booster, sway bar, fresh shocks. I just want it to be a decent handling car, and daily drivable. What I will do with it after that, I don't know. How many cars do I really need? Yes, it's the Fast Fish one-piece rear main for Big Block Mopar. AJ Barton says, hey, Jamie, I'm starting a 1970 Duster restoration. Would like to know which engine option is best for a street rod. Best is really a subjective question. I like small blocks. I love small blocks. Magnum-based small blocks, a good choice. But everybody these days is doing third-gen Hemi. It makes more power than a small block. Does that make it the best for a street rod? I don't know. It costs way more money to put one in. So there's that. Yeah, best? I don't know. Big blocks are not an easy fit in an A body. It can be done. It has been done, but it wouldn't be my choice. Yeah. I don't know. 360 Magnum? There are a lot of good options. James Sinclair, do you know where I can get a trunk hood for my 65 Barracuda? Mine's made out of mud. Maybe. Wildcat Auto Wrecking in Oregon, or you could get a hold of Vanessa with 5 Point Parts. Rich Riker, evening friends. Jamie, is your 57A 325 with a power flight? No, it is a nothing with a nothing, but it's 57, so it would have been a 3-speed, the early iron torque flight, with no park position and a drum brake on the back. I believe that was a Poly car originally, but I could be wrong. That would have been a Dodge 315 Poly in 57, I think. Yes, pretty sure. Vic has an actual car question. Speedo cable for Stone Soup. Difficult to install? Not really. Harder to find than to put in, I would say. Yikes. Tom is an enabler and a good dude. Mitch Nelson says you need to add a nice Telecaster to that collection. I've been looking for one. I would like to. Chase asks, have you ever driven a Hellcat before? I sat in one once and revved the engine. I almost bought one a couple times before I bought my truck. I was shopping for them. I sat in a Last Call Challenger Hellcat Red Eye wide body. Didn't buy it. It was an insane amount of money. Would have had to sell my Charger or my other Charger, which is actually why I tried to sell my 69 Charger, but it didn't work out. Anyway, no, I've still never driven one. Kind of want one, but yeah. Oh, sick. John Wilburn has some footage and says, I'll put up a short on the DDG transmission pit thrash tonight. Awesome. Tanner Scamp burns the tires every time he drives it. The front tires. Oh, Plymouth on Plywood. Yeah, I saw your comment a minute ago asking if I was serious about selling the 63 Valiant. Yes. If you want it, let me know. I invested a lot in that car. The question would be how much of the stuff I put in it you would want. Like, if you want the EFI stuff, that's a big part of it. My wheels, I don't really want to get rid of. Yeah. So... But yeah, the car itself, I would part with. I like the car a lot, but you know, there again, like I don't have time, and I'm never gonna have room to keep it in the garage. Like, yeah. Paul Wortman says next time you need to be chomping on a big old cigar. Agreed. Just like the Grumpster. Dust Devil says there's zero chance of duct tape being more fun than No Name. I agree. It's a different kind of fun. Ron Armstrong, sound of you banging gears from outside the car hurts. You can't really hear me banging the gears from outside the car. You can hear it inside the car. Vivian, were the Barracuda transmission issues because of the aluminum case? No! And I had comments about this. Yes, the aluminum cases are always a problem. But the problem is, generally speaking, the countershaft moves in the case. And I have a bushed case. So that shouldn't be a problem. The problem is the bushings in the case are worn out. So that's why I had to stake the front one at the track. Restake it. I'd already staked it once. I forgot. Yum. If Jamie's too loud, you're too old. My email And my nickname on various things over the years has been Jamie Noise, because everything I do is loud and obnoxious. Every time I talk, play music, bang on the drums, car noises, you name it. Noise. But anyway, the real issue with the Barracuda transmission, so the countershaft moving is an issue, but that wasn't the issue. The issue, the 1-2 shift thing, collar, slider, there you go, slider. The slider and the fork are like vibrating together. The slider is supposed to be able to spin, and the fork just rides in it. And for some reason, they're like grinding each other to pieces. And I think what it is the sleeve is going all, the slider, God, talking is hard, is going all cattywampus. And it's doing that because I deleted the synchros and the clips and the little centering guys. So there's nothing to hold it centered. It can just do weird stuff. So yeah. Now, that is what the direct connection book said to do, is just throw all that stuff away and it'll be fine. But apparently it's not necessarily always fine. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Not everyone is interested in racing. Just about everyone has been. The build on that car, which is actually kind of strange. The build series on that car has been my most popular build series ever. And so I thought the racing videos would do well too. They didn't. Chase Pelly, you still have your Dodge A100? Yes, that's the Flying Banana. We were talking about that earlier. I'm working on getting that ready to do wheelies. My ultrasonic cleaner is already here, and I'm borrowing an ozone generator. Dust Devil Garage has always wanted a Scamp. It's for sale. Yeah, the ultrasonic cleaner's here. Tanner, would the Scamp make it to Oklahoma? Yes, absolutely it would. It currently has a fuel starvation issue under heavy acceleration, but it'll cruise at 65, no problem. And I'm pretty sure it's just an underwhelming fuel pump. We've got a pressure gauge on that and a regulator, and raising the regulator pressure never changes the pressure. I'm pretty sure, and I checked the filter and I checked the line, and it's all free. So I think it's just a crappy pump. It still runs and drives, so I've never changed it. With that fixed, that car is a great driver. There's nothing else like important wrong with it. The body damage on the roof needs fixed. I would be asking $6,000. I'd make one of you guys a deal. Someone else really wanted to buy it. I did not get back to him. The problem there was, and I've discussed this before, if he bought it, I was then going to have to build the new engine and do everything else he wanted, like go through the entire drivetrain, and I don't want to do big, stupid jobs like that anymore. Steven Rosenthal wants to know, serious question, anything specific you'll do to sterilize the Coronet? I was thinking vinegar. A lot of things, and they'll probably be in a video. Yeah, even if the video did bad, so cool to see you having fun with friends. Thanks for posting it. That was Mark Howley. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I was always going to do that. Yeah, McLovin's got a Roller 318 that I'm going to do a tear down and then a build on, which I'm pretty excited about. R. Dave Carr says, all I can say is I watch everything you put out every week. Thank you for that. I really appreciate it. There are a lot of people that do, and the people that hang out in this live tend to be in that group. So yeah, thank you. But again, I'm playing to a pretty big audience at this point. And when they don't like what I do on the whole, at large, writ large, whatever, that can be an issue. Don't LS swap it. I will never LS swap anything. Oh, that duster. Yeah, for the love of God. Dwayne Paget says, don't sell your dream car. I want to buy my neighbor's house. I've said this 1,000 times. I'm concerned about my financial future more than one stupid car. I like the car, but I don't drive it. It's just sitting there. If this isn't obvious, I had more fun on that drag racing trip and building that car than I've ever had, like, doing anything. And I want to do more of that. I've said that before too in this very live. I've said I'm going to sell everything and just build the drag cars. That is what I enjoy. Not that I'm ever going to be a serious racer. Not that I'm ever going to, I'll beat Tanner anytime. But, I just like those cars. I like being around those cars, involved in those cars, putting those cars together, finding the pieces. That has been the most fun in any of these endeavors. And so that's what I want to keep doing. And I don't need that car or any other, really. And I do need more space. And a rental house would be kind of cool. And more property. So, anyway. That's where we're at on that. Koi Boy BC, do the Magnum V8 and LA use the same timing chain set? Yes, they do. Right? Yes? I'm sure they do. AJ Barton said the 360 did look like it made the most sense from your vids. Thanks. Yeah, I love 360s. They're really great. They have great potential. Rich Riker's 57 was a 325 Red Ram with a power fly. Interesting. Yeah, mine's a 3-speed shifter. And it's the original shifter, judging by the blue. Hippie Long, 65 Barracuda Commando, 4-speed, white, gold stripe, zero rust, needs assembly. That sounds awesome. No, William Crowell, watch my video from Wednesday. Do you agree that the 62 Valiant was Virgil Exner's last gap, since by 62 all the other models except Valiant had been Engelized? No, that's not true at all. The last Exner design on sale, I don't know about the Swept-line truck. I don't even know if he was involved with Truck Studio, really. Cars. The last Exner car was the 66A body. Now, it had been restyled by then, like we were just talking about with the Barracuda a bit ago. Like, yeah, it had the fastback window added, and they had changed the grill, and they had changed the tail a little bit, and all that. But largely, that car and on up to 66 are still Exner, from like behind the headlight section a little ways to right ahead of the tail panel. Like everything there in the middle is still the Exner A-body design through 1966. Engel came on in 61. He started tweaking things. His first clean sheet design would have been the 64 Imperial, then the 65 C body, then the 66 B body, and finally the 67 A body. And then all of the lines had been redesigned clean sheet by Engel, or his design team, under his direction. But before that, there were still Exner designs on sale. The 63s, yes, they were tweaked by Engel a little bit. But again, look at a 63 Dart. This is what I was talking about in the video on Wednesday. Look at the 63 Dart. Look at the grill. Look at the trim. Look at the body lines. Look at the 63 Valiant with the goofy frowny grill. Like, everything about those two cars is Virgil Exner. And he was gone by the time they were released. But his work continued. Mark M., what color carpet are you thinking for the 57? Black for sure. Horacio Kanashiro says, that's probably not the right pronunciation. Hi from Buenos Aires, Argentina. Question. I love junkyards. Is a guided visit in your video plans? Keep up the great work. There are a lot of channels that do that. It's not really my thing. Mexican Spec is in the house. How's it going? Yes, Engel equals slab side more or less. Yeah, until he started copying Pontiac in the muscle car era. Dean Stevenson is here, slightly late, and has no note from Uncle Tony. Well, all right. Brent Nixon says, nice career arc. I like that direction. Race cars all the way. Dude, they're just fun. I love cars that do things. And I don't... Like, I talk about this in my upcoming Ram video that no one will watch either. I don't daily drive these cars anymore, and I don't have any interest in it anymore. I did. I used to be cool, but I just don't. I like comfort and reliability, as reliable as a modern Ram can be. I don't use them for that anymore, but I like I like cars that do things, and drag cars do things. And I also like, I was thinking, Tony, I like cars that are helpless. Like the Barracuda is not good for anything else except pulling wheelies. Yeah. Anyway, I'm assuming Tony checked out for the night a little early. So welcome everybody coming over from Tony's. Appreciate that. Jared Ellis says, I recall eyeballing that single cab swept line in some of your vids. Which one? There are 5 here. 5 or 4? My 64 Power Wagon, the 70 Camper Special, the 66 half of a truck, the 71 ton. Okay, I guess it's just 4. I like them. Yeah, the D200 Camper Special, that one I traded toward the Barracuda like years ago, and it's still here for some reason. I need to talk to them about that. Willie the Wave is here and loves me. I love you too, Willie. Fox Can Fix It showed up just in time for all the cattywampus talk. Nice. Norm, a member, dropped in, but said, my connection to your site is spotty. Catch you later. That's unfortunate. Yeah, I haven't seen any connection issues, so it must have been on your end tonight. Cool. Yeah. Ooh. Dust Devil just sent me a link. Damn it. It always... Hold on, I gotta open it over here. That's really ugly, but it's pretty cool. So that looks just like one I almost bought. Well, okay, it doesn't look just like one because it's a later generation. But here locally, what year was this? I guess? I don't know. It's been a while. Anyway, I almost bought a 46 cab over. 46-ish cab over that had been custom crew cabbed, kind of like this. But that one had a full constant ramp bed, so the ramp went like almost all the way to the top of the cab. It was on a motorhome chassis. It had a 440 and a 5-speed. Excuse me. After I did not buy it, the guy ended up Cummins swapping it himself. The Cummins ended up like here in the middle of the truck, which was kind of cool. The ramp bed was amazing. It was big enough for like almost 2 A-bodies. And it was so tall, it had cabinets all built in. And the front cabinet like went all the way through and was almost big enough to be like a bedroom. It was awesome. Or a little bunk room anyway. That truck was 10 grand. I couldn't justify it, and I had nowhere to put it. This one is 60, and it's not as good. But it is on a 97 Ram 4500 chassis, Cummins diesel, modern seats, but it's still not done. $60,000 for an unfinished truck. Good luck, buddy. Oh, it's been listed for a month. Weird. Anyway. Yeah, Plymouth on plywood. Yeah, the price would definitely depend on what you do and do not want. Brian, you do know I have a car hauler, right? Yeah. Dwayne Paget says, I've never seen you smoke, so I envisioned a corn dog. Nice. AMC guy says ultrasonics are awesome. I have 2, big 10 liter for carbs and a 4 liter for LPs. I got a 30 liters, the biggest you can find online. It fits small block valve covers if you play your cards right. Chase Pelly, have you ever seen a Ram TRX? I saw one on the road not long ago. Granddad's Junk, is that the road trip video? Which one? Which road trip? Mama McP, Jamie, what is the black hollow body in the back? Also, we need an instrument collection video. I'm not going to do that on this channel, but I am planning on starting a music channel in the, let's say, nearish future. Yes, charcoal absorbs odors. I know that. Anyway, that black hollow body, that was a 6-string 335 copy. I got that on eBay with money I won. Money I got when a band I played with won a battle of the bands. It was $140 on eBay. Or less. And it was okay. And then I traded it, gave it to a guy. He gave me a bunch of stuff and I gave him that. So I guess it was a trade, but He didn't really want anything. Anyway, he took it and converted it to a 12-string, which is cool, but I don't play 12-string. That's a mustache hair. Snowmonk is here and says, we're a simple crowd. See DDG video? Click DDG video. Yes, thank you. Yes, Ozone Machine. I'm borrowing an Ozone Machine. Our Dave Carr wants to know, how's the Sport Fury GT 440 coming? It's exactly the same. Haven't touched it. Tanner doesn't think I'm beating him again. We'll see. Martin Baumforth, have you put the charger on Bring a Trailer? No, it's not advertised anywhere. Oliver Brown, do you have a rev limiter on the Barracuda? Yes, I do. It's currently set at 6,600 RPM. Some people thought valves were sticking open or something, and that's why they were hearing popping. No, I was bouncing off the limiter. Yes, Paul Wortman says that's the smartest thing you've ever said. You need to worry more about your future than any stupid car. That's okay, Dwayne, but, I've come to terms with it. Yeah, exactly. Plymouth on Plywood, exactly. I already know where another charger to buy is if I wanted, but I don't. Granite's Junk, Jamie, how much land do you have? I don't know, 3/4 of an acre, maybe. A little less. There's a slough through part of it. And a bunch of brush. Patrick Radcliffe sent me $5 a bit ago, thank you, and said, Jamie, if you're going to keep up racing, a lead sled needs to be in the collection. Well, I thought about Tunnel Ram on the 57, but nah. Hippie Long, Jamie, does replacing the timing chain set with a gear drive make anything better? It's more precise, but it also takes more power to turn a timing gear drive, so I wouldn't bother. Just get a good double roller on there. Yeah, ultrasonics are good for hardware. They're good for jewelry. They're good for all kinds of stuff. So, I don't know what that's about, Paul. Vivian, hot topic. Now that you have the Hemi truck, is the ramp truck superfluous? No. I'm hoping to not haul things with the new truck. I just did that for 5,500 miles, and I was rewarded with a cracked exhaust manifold. I don't really want to destroy that truck. That's what the ramp truck is for. And also, as I mentioned, once it is finished, built the way I want it, it should be capable of hauling 2, which my new truck will not be capable of, ever. Period. Yeah. Wow. Old Iron says, I might be replacing the Dakota with a 92 W150 318 Auto. It is being sold by a man called Dwayne and shall be named Dwayne the Truck Johnson. Nice. Ben's Machine says, shop expansion or addition. I cannot expand it the way that would make sense. I could expand it toward the street if I wanted, but that's not good, basically. So what I'm trying to do is optimize the space that I have in there that's coming up. And the property that I'm trying to buy, there is a second shop there. Now, it's just a little small one. But basically, my genius plan is that would be good for keeping the demons safe and one other collectible that I don't want getting destroyed by dust in the shop. And then all of my, I said collectible, one other decent car could go over there. And then all of my collectibles, it's a different thing, display things, cool stuff, would also go over there. I hesitate to use the phrase man cave or the term man cave, but it would probably be the cool hangout with the nice stuff and not a greasy, disgusting, dusty, hoarding mess like I work in now. So that was the idea. Yeah, I'm going to start a music channel for the band, I think, and I'm going to try and get other people to contribute, but they probably won't. Oliver Brown with a big question. Do you get better sound out of an SG or a Les Paul? Les Paul, easy hands down, no comparison. But the SG is acceptable, and it ruins your neck less. Eric Friel, build a Slant 6 A-body drag car. I wanted to drag race the Turbo Slant. That was my plan. That would have been the one that went to No Name if it actually worked. That would have been what I wanted to take to Duct Tape Drags if it actually worked, but it didn't. Sixth Street Garage. Hi, Jamie. Just curious, how often does it rain there? Yes. Nice. Tanner's girlfriend says she supports him buying a not broken version of his car. He is emphasizing that it's in Washington. Fly in. We're going to party, and we're going to make a video together, and then you can drive it home. I don't really party. I'm old. But anyway. Will You Still Love Me Tomorrow? Gal I used to play with would sing that all the time. Yeah. JS with the comment there. 64 Imperial wasn't totally a clean sheet design, and that's true. It still used the windshield frame and A-pillar from the earlier Imperial. But it was heavily angleized. It was an angle design, but yeah. I someday will bring home Connor's 1964 Imperial on a Power Wagon chassis. Jeff Lux bought a 74 Duster, no mouse poop. Nice. New entire floor pan, riveted, not welded. Should I weld it? Yes. That structure, you need that. Chase Pelly, how much horsepower does your drag Plymouth Barracuda put out? That combination should be capable of around 300 horsepower. Whether we're getting all of that right now or not, I truly don't know. But it does wheelies, so good enough. Yeah. Yeah, I think if I got the neighbor's place, we'd have like an acre and a quarter. It would be quite the stretch. Gary Hergert is at the Mariners game. Tom is in the nosebleed somewhere above him. Nice. Sorry, no Mopar content. Yes, like a DDG showroom shop. Yes, very much like that. It would be a great location to film and chat and do cool stuff. Wow. Mark just sent me a picture of a truck. He says, this truck was at Good Guys this year. Stop. Leave me alone. Damn. That looks like something straight out of Mad Max Fury Road, but a little nicer. That's pretty cool. I'm not that old, but I'm older than Tanner. He's like a little baby. I don't think I said hi to Cave Dave when he dropped in. Hi, Cave Dave. The British invasion seems to have begun. Yeah, we've got like 2 of them. Patrick Sullivan keeps waiting for the Mega Shop YouTube build. Even with that extra lot next door, there's a slough that runs through it. So, yeah. I can't really fit a Mega Shop there. Someday. Jeff R. Is Morning Orange still practicing Thursday nights? Yes, and our guitarist is no longer moving to Chattahoochee or whatever. So that's the good news. So we still have a band, and we're going to be recording in the coming months. I guess we're going to record ourselves, which sounds... Well, I've done it before. Oh, this is terrible. The camera's backwards. I can't actually fix this. I don't know why I'm trying. Dude. Whatever. This part's terrible. That Les Paul right there that has the ruined neck because the headstock was snapped off. The first time happened at a show. The glue failed and the headstock just went boop. The second time I was recording my own band and I got pissed off and threw it. Oops. I believe I threw 2 guitars in the course of recording that one. I'd like to think I've grown out of that, but I don't know. Why don't you just, Rich Riker, why don't you just excavate an underground storage shop? The water table is 3 feet down here. Dust Devil Garage is old. Well, yeah. Why was Max always mad? Lightbulb Fun. If you're in Washington, did you ever see the Invacar Model 70? Don't know what that is. Andrew Button's in the house. How's it going? They don't measure at the beak. They measure at the tire. Old Iron says, how many subs do I need before we do a live together? You can answer all the questions, and I can say, yeah, Mopars are great. I don't know. Bell James, if the 383 ends up a worthy plant for the 57 Dodge, you're going to spice it up to, say, 69 HP standards. Maybe. Yeah, I'm strongly considering it. I'd love to build a 383. It's got good heads, really good heads. But it's got dished pistons, so it would need flat tops. We're going to measure the cam or see if there's a number on it or something. Definitely needs springs. It needs various other things. But yeah, I am kind of leaning that way. I would probably just run HP manifolds on it and not headers because I hate headers. Robert Fitch, do you plan to ever put the Barracuda Dart on a dyno? I would like to do that. Maybe. He's mad, and his name is Max. Alan Pierce is checking in from Milwaukee. How's it going? Latu says we're always here. The English, that is. Nice. Good evening, Ray. How's it going, Ray? Old Iron says, I feel out of place. I'm younger than the LX platform. Wow. Wow. Why did Rooster delete that? Rooster, what did you do? I didn't even know Rooster was here. Can I Why? No. I can't unhide that. No, not punk grunge, but good guess. Yes, Vivian, I know. And I did mention the possibility to the group. But the basic Brady Dog says on a tape recorder is not recording. What? Do you know how many great records were made on tape? Whatever. Maybe you mean like a VHS recorder? I don't know what you mean. Anyway, I wanted to do that. You know, I very much like High Command, having recorded there twice. I think it's a great time. But the general consensus among the group is, let's just set up like it's band practice, because this is where this band exists and where we do what we do and just record right here ourselves. And then we have flexibility on time and changing stuff and overdubbing guitar solos and silly things like that. So I guess we're going to do that. But I did suggest it. I'm just the bassist. It's not up to me. Driveway of Misfits. Is slough the Pacific Northwest term for creek? No, we have those too, although they're called cricks usually. No, a slough, tidal slough. It's like an offshoot of a river, basically. So the tide can come up, the tide can go down, but it's not. Yeah. Rooster did a boo-boo. Okay. He's also chatting with my mom. Yes, that was an accidental boo-boo. Okay. What? What? Dual disc? What are we talking about? Those words didn't quite make sense, Stephen. Get a pile of dirt and build your shop on it. That's literally what they did. The shop and the house. We live in basically like glorified tideland. When we get a king tide, a typical high tide here is like 11 foot, 12 foot. When we get a king tide that's like 14 feet, there's water over the street and in all the neighbors' yards. But ours, which was built up in 96, they put it above the 100-year floodplain, and my yard is fine in the shop yard. But yeah, it's not the best. Anyway, Yeah, the neighbor's house sold for like $100,000 less dollars. Not the one I'm buying, the other one, the one that threw a rock at me. Sold for like $100,000 less dollars than he was asking, which is amazing. Jeff R., do you have access to a chassis dyno in the greater Aberdeen area? Yes, there's one in town, but they want a lot of money to put a car on there, and they told me, what did they say? $150 an hour. And probably a minimum of 2 hours, probably more like 4. And I was like, are you kidding? I'm not asking for tuning. I want you to strap the car to it and tell me what power it makes. Like, that's it. And I thought most dynos were like $100, 2-3 runs, something like that. So no, that sucks. Also, they used to be the competition, and I'm not excited about that. Mama M3 dipped out. Take it easy. Mark Bass, Chrysler Australia had a Hemi Straight 6. Yes, they did. I wonder if it's any good. It's literally legendary. Brady Dog, sell the Les Paul right here. Anybody want a black Chinese Les Paul? It currently has a really good Ibanez bridge pickup, but it probably won't have that when I sell it. Oh, yeah. Blame my mom. She says, I see how this is going to go. A slough is kind of like a ditch, but tide water comes into it. Oh, Junkyard D. Evening, Jamie. Did you hear SSR Performance offered to dyno any Triple Crown car for free? I did not hear that. That's awesome. It would be a bit of a drive. Anyway, 16-track tape. Well, in the early days, it was 4-track, and then it was 8-track. No, I never saw the frog again. Scoop. Geez, how close to the ocean are you? I can smell it from here. Excuse me. Obviously, not really into reading. Nice. Ray says, come hell or high water, the Dead Dodge garage stays dry. I guess you haven't seen the videos. But we got the roof replaced. So once I fix the water running in under the shop door issue, we should actually stay dry this winter. And then I can insulate, put in a ceiling, build the engine room I want to build, and things will start getting good. But yeah, roof was step one. I've been putting it off for 4 years. It's finally done. And this last rain, didn't see a single leak, so that's the good news. And I looked everywhere. Perky on the rolling road. No. Stop it. Yes, that is why I wanted to dyno the Hawk, but didn't. I wanted to dyno Mark's Barracuda. I called them and asked, and that's what they told me. They said, I think it was $150, $160 an hour, and that most dyno sessions are 3 to 4 hours. And I was just like, dude, why? And then the gal said, well, yeah, maybe we could do it in 2. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's a better. Yeah. Mama McP getting all scientific. A slough is defined as a wetland, typically a swamp or shallow lake that serves as a backwater to a larger body of water. Sloughs are characterized by slow-moving or stagnant water. There you go. Yeah. Tidal slough is what we have. Are you in a tsunami evacuation zone? God, yes. Oh, I knew that. I knew who Mama McP was. I forgot. Nice work. Finn, did you see your shirt in yesterday's video? It's very greasy now. It's still the only one that exists because I haven't put it in the store. And it's a little dirty. Does the salt air rot the cars? Absolutely. Yeah, there's a tsunami evacuation meeting point that way, 2 blocks. Does the engine room mean an engine dyno in the plans? No, although if I could get a hold of one, I would consider it. Dust Devil's roof leaks. He just uses big plastic toast to catch it. My mother-in-law did that with pots and pans till her house burned down. Yeah, a slough is basically an overflow bottle for the ocean. A river in this case, but yes. With no less than 3 frogs and 4 turtles in it. Yeah, I love how you get mad at random animals that happen to pass by. Dude, last night, the coyotes over here were going crazy. Bell James says the cars are Perky, Pinky, and Poopy. I tried really hard to not say, to not put poop in today's video title. Good times. If there's a tsunami, what car are you taking? My Ram. Vivian says you should start a Grays Harbor metal band called Slewer. Nice. Nice. It sure would be a shame if a tsunami came along and floated Dale Steeman down to Colorado and into Andrew Button's garage. Excuse me. Oh, yeah. Plymouth on plywood. During storms, you can feel the ground shake from the crashing waves at our house out there. Yeah. Yeah, you could just about smell open sores from here. P38 Chris is here. How's it going? Not rushing, just curious. How far out will the engine swap on Perky be? I need to get the engine torn down. I'm currently working on Vivian's Dart, the 57 Dodge. Don't want to leave that in pieces all winter. And a mail truck transmission tomorrow. And just a lot of other things that are a little more important. I do want to get into that soon so we can figure out what size main bearings I need. But I'm really not in a hurry for it, is the thing. Like, I don't want that car sitting there broken either. I'm hoping to be able to push it in onto one of the lifts in the coming weeks. But, yeah. I don't know. Probably a couple months. I've mentioned the name of my band countless times, Brady. It's Morning Orange. Rich Riker resides physically as far from an ocean as one can get in the lower 48. So the middle of Nebraska? Or maybe the middle of, hold on. Because any ocean. What's the one at the top? Tanner, would you, back to the music channel, would you be requesting certain YouTuber participation? Well, not necessarily. It was the band members I'm trying to get to do stuff. Lightbulb Fun, I've seen you mention mail trucks. Do you own one? No, and I hate them, but I do have this. And this. Cute. Middle of North Dakota? Yeah, that's a good guess. Oh, Missouri-Kansas border. Yeah, okay. I can see that. Yeah. Ben's Machines. Take some time to recharge or have fun. I don't have time for fun. No need to start 383 right now unless you really want to. I want to get that car together, and I need a video for Wednesday. So I've already started on the 383. Kansas. Jared Ellis, ever been tempted to get your hands on non-vehicle Mopar goodies? I have been tempted. I'd like a siren, air warning siren, a boat, kind of. Call your band the mail trucks. No. Yeah, Scoop. They only hold a little mail. Old Iron has never seen the Pacific Ocean. I've been in it and on it. Is it as magical as they say? Yes. I don't want to live away from it. I have never wanted that. Although I did see some places I liked on this last trip. My wife and I were kind of sort of allegedly looking at potential places, kind of, for future relocations. Not that I want to move. Yeah. Lightbulb Fun. Once you have Perky up and running again, what are your plans? Any epic road trips planned, or just use it for local slushing about? I don't know. I'm hoping that with the rebuild, it will end up with enough power to be like a usable car, but I don't know that it will be, and I really don't think a road trip will ever be fun. relocate to Oklahoma. We were more thinking New Mexico. Brady Dog, how much does it turn your guts to be working on your car and a mail truck pulls up? I hate it. I hate it so much. Classic Dude, my guitar channel would be cool. Do you set up your own guitars, action, etc.? I have done a lot of that in the past. I fiddle with it a little bit, but these days I just take it to Guitar Galactica, the shop in town. Joe's super good. He sets up everything for me. He's the best. And he's reasonable. Yeah, Ray, how many car transport trucks would you need for a move, Jamie? I counted yesterday 27 cars. And that was not counting other people's cars that are here. Well, it was counting a couple, the trucks that I have sold but are still here. It was not counting Vivian's or the Hudson. 27. That's too many. Vivian says Northwest New Mexico is one of my favorite spots on the continent. Yeah, we were in, we went to Roswell, so not quite the Northwest. Yeah, we met a very nice young gentleman in the gift shop at the Alien Museum, and he said, go to Santa Fe. This area sucks. Go to Santa Fe. Which is really funny. Anyway, yeah. Lightbulb Fun, are you like the maintenance shop for mail trucks in your area then? In 2020, I ran a professional auto repair shop still. I had been running it for 5 years at that point. Closed it in 2022? What year is this? Has it been 3 years? I've been YouTubing for 4, so yeah, it has. Almost 4. Closed it in 2022 because being in business sucks and I don't recommend it. But in 2020, during the shutdown, a nice gentleman, Will, walked into my shop and said, have you ever worked on an LLV postal truck? Do you want to? No one else in town wanted them. And so I got the service contract and I have been working on them ever since, but I'm trying not to. I've been trying to get out of that for a long time. My brother works at a shop where they do most of them now, but I still get the overflow. Tim Harper, what size tires and wheels are on your 63 Valiant? I like its stance. Me too. Did you raise the front end? I actually don't know if I did or if it came that way. I would have. That's the sort of thing I do. But I don't remember. I don't actually think I have. I think it was always a little nose high. I think you can go back to the first video I did on it when Tom got it, which was quite a while ago now, and it was always kind of like that. I am wheel and tire size stupid. They're 15-inch center lines with small bolt pattern. I don't know the widths. I don't know the offset, and I don't know what the tires are. They're probably 245s on the back if they fit. They really can't be any bigger than that. And probably 205s or 215s in the front. But I don't actually know. People ask me about wheel and tire sizes all the time, and I just don't understand them. Brady Dog, you ever play stoned? The first time I got stoned and tried to play the drums, I understood why every drummer I've ever played with was not good at keeping time. Brady Dog, what the hell's in New Mexico except heat and sand? Rocks. Wheelie Yellow. Yeah, I have a hat with the Wheelie Yellow truck, van, camper thing broken down. It's hilarious. Jared Ellis, would you ever get your hands on a mail truck you would actually enjoy, like the Jeep ones? I'm not planning on it, but I do like them. Tavo's here. How's it going, Tavo? What's good in the hood? Oh, my sister's here, I guess. Right on time as usual. I think she was hanging out at the party. Oh, sorry. See you, Dwayne. Thanks for being here. Appreciate that. What makes mail trucks so awful? It's a Chevy S10 underneath, but they have been destroyed and bounced off everything you could imagine. Yeah, Fox Can Fix It had it. It's a big aluminum Kleenex box on an S10 chassis. I just hate them. It's always the same broken garbage again and again and again. Putting a 426 Hemi in an LLV would be mildly entertaining, but also waste of a good Hemi. Latouche is out of here. Gotta go. I'm doing the nodding dog. Take it easy. Get some snoozes. Why New Mexico? I don't know, because we liked it, and it's warm and dry. The Volkswagen Jeep thing is still at Tom's. Jeep mail truck? Why, that's almost AMC content. You know I do AMC content. Seth is here. What's up, Seth? Seth's probably chilling in his new abode. Can I show them a picture of your new abode? All these weirdo strangers on the internet? Seth is a member of the Morning Orange. Something about drugs. I don't know what's going on. No comment on that. Yes, Vivian. I always know my mail's on the way when I hear the slow approach of wasted upper control arm bushings. I was going to say that a bit ago when someone asked if I cringe when mail trucks show up while I'm working on my cars, and I always hear them. I know the starters, I know the suspensions, the terrible exhaust noises. All right, here we go. Here's Seth next to his new home. Look at that guy. Oh wait, hold on, hang on, hold on. There we go. The thumbs up. Hell yeah. Been working on that the last couple of weeks, and yesterday we got them all set up in a spot. That is, many of you will recognize that as the camp trailer that's been in the background here for like a year and a half. So I'm really glad that worked out. Oh yeah, Tanner saw the weird new mail truck on Friday. They look like a platypus bill on a box. They do. They are so awful. Buff Del Campo is here listening. Hi, Buff. I got to meet him at the No Name, as well as Kim, of course. Yeah, Stuart Cody. I run 26 by 4.5, 15 fronts. This is on a 65 Barracuda. 28 by 9, 15-inch wheel on the back of my 65 Barracuda. I put a 20... I think mine's 29, isn't it? 29 by 10. The 28s are about the max on the back of the Barracuda with no quarter modifications. So I had the ones that I have. I think they're 29 by 10. Pretty sure they are 29 tall. I had those on a 15-inch custom-built small-bolt Steely on the back of that car. It centered, and I don't know what the back spacing was. Again, it was custom-built, probably for one of these cars. It centered that 10-inch slick perfectly in the wheel well. Now, under suspension, compression, it would have rubbed. There's no question of that, like pretty far up in there. But actually, I sat it down on those tires and it sat in there really nice. The problem was the tire, the back spacing nudged that slick into the leaf spring, and I didn't want to run a wheel spacer or anything, so I would have had to do the relocation for the leaf springs, and I didn't want to do that crap. So instead, I got those other wheels, and I cut the quarters, and I couldn't be happier. I love it. Weed's legal here. Andrew Button's Mailman's LLV has Flowmasters and a cam. Perry the mail truck platypus? Nice. Yes, Andrew Button. The new mail truck is the most horribly ugly thing I've ever seen on the road. Simply horrid beyond words. It is a fever dream. It is a terrible nightmare. It is so bad. I hate them. Is Del Campo a Spanish name? Nice. Good times. I didn't see this comment forever ago, and I apologize. I don't know if AJ Barton's still with us, but I guess maybe we talked about this later because you asked what the best engine would be. Yeah. Anyway, 360. 318s are good too, though. I really like those. Yeah. Dan Orcutt, what on earth did those wheelie popping T-Birds and the Cutlass have under their hoods? I don't actually know. The Cutlass. No, I don't know. Oh, Stuart Cody did do the relocation for the leaf spring. Yeah, and that helps a lot. 3.5-inch backspacing. Yeah, that sounds about right. Oh, light bulb fun. No, let's keep talking about LLVs. Is this where I get blocked from the chat? Yes. Put user in timeout. Hide user. Report user. I know, Andrew Button, I hate LLVs, but honestly, they're the best option available now. Hi, Mark Orada? The Thunderbird, the big Thunderbird, had an FE block, but then there's another one. Chase says the math on my 273 says 257 horsepower. Yes, you were there when I did that. That can't be right. It's got to be more than that. Martin Baumforth said Musty One is likely needing a rear valence and black door cards. For what? Just any rear valence? Or valance or whatever. How many cars do you really need? More! Nice. Wires would be cool for sure. Vivian's got wires on that Studebaker. Ooh, it's pretty good. Yeah, that would be good. Yes, the Ford Edsel. Oh, Mark said, nice, you pronounced it right. Most don't. Minnesota names are weird. Washington names are weird too. Del Campo means from the field. Huh. Old Iron says, we haven't had LLVs in my area in like 10 years. We ruined them all and replaced them with 90s Explorers. Ours are ruined too. Jeff Militich says, put an LLV engine in Perky. No, stop it. That's an Iron Duke 4-cylinder. I hate them. Ray's got the GM LLV manual somewhere. Me too. Probably from the mid-90s, yeah. Yeah. Mark Bass. Try and pronounce that if you don't live here. Stuart Cody, how can I send you a picture of my Barracuda? deaddodgegarage@gmail.com. Rooster, it was a name. I believe it was I pronounced it two different ways. One of them was right. Either Orada or Orada. You look like you'd be good in a mosh pit. No. Goofy Goober just got home and saw your new project, and I'm excited. Nice. Me too. Tanner's friend asked him, don't you have enough cars? Dude, you don't need people like that in your life. You don't need that negativity. No, Barracuda, that's very, very wrong. Yep. Stephen Andrews, you know, though. Second one, got it. But I don't remember which one that was. Orada, I believe. I'm not reading that. McLovin put up a link to the Discord. Brady Dog is too silly tonight and every other night. Oh, he said he misses the 81 Challenger, by the way. It is in Memphis, Tennessee now. Drove home. No problems, apparently. Auto Hobby Services says, Jamie, the 57 tail fins are killer just where they are. I agree, brother. It was Mrs. Jamie that said they were too short. Yes, the new mail trucks are hideous and resemble a platypus, but like a diseased platypus. Hold on, I'll show you a picture. I hope you're near, like, I typed new platypus. I hope you're near a garbage can because you're going to need one to vomit when you see this stupid piece of garbage. Look at it. What were they thinking? It is so stupid. So stupid. Horrible. Disgusting. Kill it with fire. Raymond Cabell says there's a 57 Coronet in Alberta with a 354 Poly. Interesting. I thought they would only have a 354 Hemi in the D501. Oklahoma sounds lovely. I just, my wife likes the desert. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, get the barf bag. Nice. Yes, even uglier than the new Amazon vans. 100% Canandiagua? My eyes. Oh, that mail truck's sillier than Brady Dog. It's so ugly. They're horrible. Johnny Grassa says they're cool. No. What are they like to actually use or drive? I don't know, and I don't want to. Yes, it looks more AI than real. Yeah. Looks like a duck. Yeah. Funny that the LLV is still being talked about. You know what LLV stands for, right? Long life vehicle. 40 years is a long life. Looks like a Fiat Multipla, but worse somehow. Well, maybe not worse. Equally bad. McLovin says, I wish Bend, Redmond, Lapine were cheaper to live in. That area is unobtainium. I really do like that area. Obviously, I've spent a lot of time there, my grandma being there, but I wouldn't want to live there. Everyone is moving there. It's, California north. See you later, Bell James. Take it easy. Yeah, I actually don't think the Rivian Amazon vans are that horrible. Strangely. Yes, the LLV has lived for too damn long. I'm telling you, I've been saying that. Yeah. Joseph Bryan. Hey, Jamie. Hi. Do you offer one-on-one tech support? Thought I heard you talk about that in one of your videos. Thanks. Watch all your stuff. Mad skills. Yes, I do. You can comment on a video or you can email me at deaddodgegarage@gmail.com. Gold members get one-on-one support in whatever way is easier for them, although I prefer, instant messaging usually works the best. Or we could do email or whatever. If you sign up as a gold member, I will answer as many questions as you want. But everybody gets one. First hit's free. Yeah, Tanner, you done good. LLV looked like something from the movie Total Recall. Yeah. Thought all Californians were moving to Idaho. Well, and they thought Exner's designs were getting weird. No dog is ever going to chase the new mail trucks. Why are we talking about mail trucks? I hate mail trucks. AMC guy likes the gold member thing. Yeah. Yeah. Brady Dog will become a gold member if I shave my head. I don't need your money that bad. Yeah, I agree. No, I really do think those Rivian Amazon vans are at least tasteful, unlike some delivery vehicles. Don't forget Squim. Yeah. Do any LLVs exist that were never mail trucks? No. Meanwhile, the humble Jeep DJ5. You ever dream of being a mailman? No. Barracuda thought Oregon was full of tough logging men. I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Isn't Goldmember a 007 movie? Yes. Old Iron says some weren't mail trucks. Yes, the new mail truck makes the LLV look great. And the Mercedes van makes the LLV seem easy to service. Who done it? Alan would shave his head. He didn't ask to see your head shaved. You'd shave your head anyway. Talking is indeed hard. Yeah. Sometimes you can buy LLVs at auction. Tanner's coworkers were calling him Princess. Perfect. Da, 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 da. Whoa. Careful with the ozone cleaner. I put one in my medium-duty truck this last weekend. It disintegrated the rubber airbag shocks on my air seats. Also messed with the electronics in my tuner. That ain't good. You have air seats? When did you get a medium-duty truck? Did you always have a medium-duty truck? Mark Bass, they make speed parts for Chevy G bodies that fit the S10. Would they also fit on an LLV? Sure. I mean, you can get Beltec lowering kits for S10s too. There's all kinds of stuff out there. Sleep all night and I work all day. I cut down trees. I wear high heels. Yeah. Ever find any mail in the mail trucks? There's not supposed to be mail left in them when they get to me. I am not allowed to touch mail. There's not supposed to be any mail. Yes, there were right-hand drive Cherokees, USPS Cherokees. There were also right-hand drive minivans. Caravans, the Dodge Caravan CV. We had one for a while. McLovin sent me pictures and posted in the group this really sick Aspen. Dutra Duals, 4-barrel, 4-speed overdrive. Excuse me. It's so cool. Paul Wortman says, just posted a picture of the Cougar on the community site. Does that mean the Discord or, the community part on YouTube? So I haven't figured out, I cannot, and this is really dumb, I can't interact with those posts. I can see them. I don't see that from you either. I can see them in here, but I can't heart them or comment on them, which is really weird. I can see other people's comments, and I can respond to other people's comments. It's weird. Anyway. Little boo-boo on the part of YouTube. But anyway, I don't see what you posted. I'm well familiar with Ozium. Rebobert just became a fancy member. Thank you, Rebobert. Welcome to the club. Brady Dog, do you have anger at band members for making you play bass? No. I played bass in the band before any of the other members that play string instruments joined. It's what I wanted to do. I like playing bass. I'm kind of good at it. In a way. Playing bass and singing is really hard. Just ask Les Claypool. Yeah. Cougar, where? Robert Lee says they built right-hand drive Durangos and Jeeps at Jefferson North for export. Hippie Long said 64 318 I would believe was Poly. Yes. Why were we talking about? Oh, P38 Chris, have an opportunity to buy a 64 Dodge 2-ton flatbed truck. Would it have a 318? More likely than anything else, yes. 2-ton. I mean, I guess it depends on the truck. Because there were heavy-duty, like, big blocks and stuff, but probably a 318 Poly? Probably. I don't know what that is. Olson Curbside. Oh, it's that. Bread truck. Neat. Old Iron. Put a link to a non-USPS LLV in the Discord. Stop it. Oh. Oh, used as a meter reader. Well, that is just weird looking. Because the ones that end up in private hands, like they take the USPS logos off, but they still always have like blue and red on them. Why on earth would they need an LLV for reading meters? It has a passenger seat. Is that a tilt column? No. Interesting. Anyway, still a government vehicle. What a weird thing. Look at the wheels. It's got wagon wheels. That ain't right. It's supposed to have crappy Steelies with retreads. Listen to the bass lines on any of the later Beatles stuff. He was a really good bass player. Yes, I've seen a couple right-hand drive Cherokees for sale. Oh, Finley, Jamie, in the future, if the band needs a guitarist, I might be interested. I will keep that in mind. Then why do you own so many guitars? Because I play guitar. Been playing guitar since 2003. I've played guitar in a good few bands. But I always liked bass. I basically got, like, kind of sort of forced into being a guitarist and lead guy. It was never my plan. It just happened. Tanner says he's good at playing and singing at the same time. That clip, what was it? We were talking to John with the transmission pieces and you were recording and you were bragging about how you weren't going to have problems fitting the custom tail housing in your car. And I turned and said, well, good for you. Sometimes I crack myself up. Andrew Button says 2-ton flatbead is what he typed. Flatbed truck would probably have been a 413 or a 361. Oh, Robert says USPS also had LLVs with passenger seats for training. Never seen one of those. Why are you showing pictures of mail trucks? I truly wish I knew. Vivian, if I've ever seen a zip van, it's something. There's a tiny Dodge van. I don't remember. I've seen this before. Dodge Fagial? Fat? I don't even know. It's not a Studebaker or a Dodge. It's this. International Metro? I've seen one of those. That's kind of cool. I always thought a big block in the middle of that would be pretty cool. Anyway, yeah, the Studebaker Zip fan. That sure is something. Why do they put windows on the side so you can see what's in the back? Yeah. Dang it. Keith Hill is here and says, my spare 340 was made from a green block from Direct Connection Circuit 76. I'm not familiar with that. Any difference to my 6970 340 block? I don't know why they would be any different, but I do not know. Yes, Mark Bass, I know what engine swap belongs in an LLV. It's been done. So you want to be a guitarist, right? I want to be whatever I need to be at a given time. I collect bass guitars too. Zip van could be driven standing up. That's incredible. Rich Jordan, need to see an image of what an Exner designed bale truck would have looked like. Hate to admit it, but it's probably a job for AI. Auto Hobby Services. I tried delivering pizzas one night in my 74 364 speed Duster. Not a great night. My brother delivered newspapers in Ocean Shores, Washington in his Duster with a 4-speed for a bit. Excuse me. Bullwag made it. Right on time as usual. Did you get the 2 emails I sent? I don't know. Yes, I get the picture, get the idea we're talking about different kinds of cougars. Use passkey. That's fine. Yeah, Google, just sound like a frog. Just take my life. Take control of my life. I don't even care. Yeah, it was me. Thank you. Keep showing the frame of the W Series truck you have stripped. What condition and wheelbase? What would you take for it? I stripped it to build a straight axle gasser, but I'm probably not gonna do that. Decent frame. You tell me what you want to pay. I'm not seeing an email. What the heck is a Divco? Oh, God. I'm learning way too much about old milk trucks today. Oh, yeah, that's the... There's a big truck with a cab that looks like that. What is that? Is that a white cab over? No. What is that? No. No. Yes. Yes. Kind of. That is what I was thinking of. Yeah, the white, old school white cab over, but it's not that curvy. There was one of those somewhere. I thought about buying it. I delivered newspapers when I was a kid on foot. My brother did it in a car. Yes, old iron. Yes. Did you know you can see the non-cutout holes under the cowl for right-hand drive wipers on tin grill trucks? That's the best fact I have, and I will keep posting it until you read it. Sorry, I've shared that fact in videos before. Johnny Grassa, would you put a straight axle in the garbage can CUDA? It has long been a consideration. But I do not mind the factory suspension either. So, yeah, I friggin' might. Yeah, the Divco does. That's what it is. It looks like a milk truck mated with the Chrysler Airflow. It sure does. That's my secret, kids. I'm always stoned. That's not true. If I was, I would tell you. And the talking thing would be even harder. Time to end this silliness. Brady, I thought you left a while. ago. Hang on, I have to get a bass. This should look familiar to some members of the crowd. Oh, don't do that. Dumb. As mentioned, Joe, the guy in the guitar store locally, does all the setups for me, and he took the warp out of this neck and dressed the upper frets to fix all the buzzies and flipped the bridge saddles around and intonated it, and it actually plays really well now. Where are we at? Bridge neck pickup? That ain't right. That's all you get. Yeah. Dang it. Come back to me. I can do better. Yeah. Do you know any REM? I like REM, but I don't. Apparently, Raymond Loewy designed the IH Metro van. Wow. Slap the Rick. I did do that once. Now go away or I shall taunt you a second time. Dust Devil requests the Imperial March. I don't think we're doing that. Hey, Bulldog. Oh, what's the other one? Whatever. It's hard to do. Really hard to do well. Easy to do badly. Yeah. I am actually a fan of McCartney's bass playing, to the point that when you hear This Morning Orange bass line, it might sound familiar. Mine's got more distortion though. This isn't very McCartney. You know my name. Look up the number. Name the bass the slant, Rick. All you need is LLVs. Nice. Good night, Dan. I don't really know any Zappa on bass. Oh, I know this one. Well, what key do we play that in? I don't know. Maybe it's B. Goofy Goober, Jamie, do you ever play more melodic bass parts like Pink Floyd's Pigs? I like that whole album, actually. I haven't listened to it in a long time, but I feel like this thing, which I just did a minute ago, was pretty melodic. I was just watching Dweezil's channel the other day. Barry Kudet's Puyallup. Oh, God, I wrote this ages ago, but I can't play it on this because you cannot palm mute a Rick. Is a tremendous album. The best? Yeah. Oh, wow. That is a medium truck, Mark. I keep thinking I want a more medium-ish truck. Largely for space to sleep. Divco. Nice. But, you know, weight, licensing. Yes, the Rick has its own built-in mute. That is true. The problem is, and maybe this one's better because it's ancient and worn out, but on the 4003s, chop suey, on the 4003s at least, it does not mute the strings evenly. So you'll get like a super dead A, but the E still rings. Oh, that's all the way up. There we go. There we go. That might be too dead. Yeah, this one's definitely better than the newer ones. The problem is you just, you don't have the same control. Anyway, what were we talking about? Can you pinch harmonica bass? Probably. DDG, have you ever driven a 3-wheel car? No. Never. Muted with the pick is the... Yeah, that's the Carol. Mm-hmm. Animal's better than the Wall. I like it more. Yeah. Puyallup. Well, that's wrong. It's closer than some, though. My brother always called it Puyallup, just to be silly. I feel like we've talked about this before. Yeah, it's about that time. Finn wants to learn bass. Learn it! It's fun. I really like bass. This isn't true all the time, but as much as possible, I try to... as much as possible in Morning Orange, we have 2 lead guitars and a bass rhythm guitar situation. I just do it all. Mr. Classic, have you ever driven a Prius? Yes, my wife owned one for a while. Didn't like it. Animals is better than most of the wall. There you go. My mom says Dark Side, also quite good. David Gilmour is awesome. I just watched a Rick Beato, however the hell you say his name, I don't remember, interview with Gilmour. Also the Les Claypool one. And he talked to Sting and Copeland. Anyway. Yeah. I don't know what we're doing anymore. It's still a Rick, and the G string still does that. Oh, Sledgehammer's amazing. That guy, I wish I could remember his name, but I've seen video of him showing, I think it was talking to Rick actually, maybe, and showing that part, and it's so good. I need to learn more about that guy. I wanna be your sledgehammer. Yeah, Peter Gabriel, but the Tony Levin. There you go. Won't you call my name? I'm gonna be your sledgehammer. Let there be no doubt about it. Sledge. Anyway. Sweet. All right, well, I think we learned it's more than time to shut this off. Yeah, beyond. I'm gonna go figure out dinner. Peter Ralph, do you have a fuel stabilizer that you recommend? I've always used the heat and ISO heat stuff. Or Stabil, whatever. That works. It's a Barracuda. Oh, Paul Wortman. Those guitars should be up for sale again since the guy who bought them all died. Scoop found a normal-sized hammer. All right, thanks for hanging out. No mouse poop next week. We're done with that. Wednesday will be 3-3 teardown. We'll see if that engine that came with the 57 is at all worth using. Kiwi spherical. Excuse me. I did a video on my RAM. No one's going to watch that except you guys. Maybe the real mouse manure was the friends we made along the way. Get back on Perky. It's going to be a while. Did the shop vac survive? It's still sitting outside. I don't know. But anyway, and then I got to do at some point, I don't know if maybe I'll film this week. I haven't decided, but the Barracuda, I'm going to autopsy everything wrong with the Barracuda and play by play the car's performance on the drag strip. So, because I've learned a lot of things and I'm going to share those things and maybe people will watch that, but maybe not. What else? Vivian's car is going to be like a week now because I found a head, thankfully. Spoiler alert. Took her head to the machine shop. It's cracked. Got to drain them capacitors. Anyway, I have a head. Alan's pulling it. We'll take that in, but I'm sure it'll be another week turnaround on that before I can finally finish that engine, which I would like to do. Yeah, I did all that work to get the head off that engine and the cam out just to find out the head's garbage. So that sucks. We wanted to use that. Oh, yeah, I have to do a mail truck transmission tomorrow, which I hate. But my brother's going on vacation. So here we are. Yeah, anyway, we'll have more videos this week, and they'll be about cars and stuff. So until then, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for joining these live streams. Oh, stop it. Stuart Cody tried sending a picture of my Barracudas. Don't know if it went through. Oh, God. Someone... Rich Jordan asked Grok to simulate an Exner mail truck. Well, that's something. That sure is something. Nice. Here are Stuart Cody's Barracudas. There's a flat black one. Man after my own heart. Okay. Let's go home. Bye. Thanks for being here. See you later in the comments next week. Yada, yada. Bye-bye. Thanks for everything. Burrito time. Bye now. Bye-bye now. Come, let's hit the button. All right.